We're ready to elevate the quality of life for every Malaysian as we progress to become a digital society, digital economy, and digital government, transforming into a digital nation to make life and business easier for a better Malaysia.
Hello everyone, my name is Shukriah Binti Sa'ad. I was appointed as a newly accounts executive of Telekom Malaysia Berhad. Previously, I worked at Lembaga Tabung Haji as an accountant.
Hello everyone, my name is FAR570 Shukriah. I'm the newly appointed accounts executive of Telekom Malaysia Berhad. Previously, I was a management accountant at Axiata Group Berhad.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Shukriah Binti Sa'ad. I'm also a member of account executives for this firm. Before this, I've been working as an auditor for one of the big audit firm, which is KPMG. Therefore, I will use my knowledge and experience that I have gained there to give my best at this firm.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Muhammad Afif Azhan. I am new executive accountant for Telekom Malaysia Berhad. In this presentation, I'm going to explain about a type of segment for TM Malaysia, who is the chief operating decision making and their responsibilities, advantages of segment reporting, and the type of interim report that was prepared by the company.
Let's go to the first part, which is company background. Telekom Malaysia Berhad was founded on 12 October 1984. They were the country's leading telecommunications company, offering a comprehensive suite of communication services and solutions in fixed telephony and broadband, mobility, content, Wi-Fi, cloud, data center, cybersecurity, and smart services. It operates through the following segments, which is Unified, TM1, TM Global, and Shared Service and others. Telekom Malaysia Berhad earns revenue of 10840.3 million in year 2020. The company closed its account at the end of 31st December every year. TM remains committed to serve a more digital lifestyle society, digital businesses, and digital government towards making life and business easier for better Malaysia. TM Berhad has received many of the awards and achievements during their journey, such as Malaysia Technology Excellence Awards, World Communication Awards, National Energy Awards, CIPS Asia Supply Management Awards, and many more.
Next, I will explain about the factors to consider when having a segment reporting. First and foremost is nature of business, which is determined by any activity carried out by an entity with the main objective of profit maximization. Next is the existence of managers responsible for the activities, where each segment will be controlled by segment manager who is responsible for ensuring the segment performance and directly contact with the Chief Operating Decision Maker or CODM. The third factor is information presented to the Board of Directors. CODM referred to the report measured by the Board of Directors in determining its segments, as it consists of reliable information about overall performance of the company, such as financial statement, in order to make decision making. So the Board of Directors will be able to decide whether the segment should be continued, discontinued, or replaced with other segments that can provide more revenue to the company. These four factors also must be taken into consideration. First is nature of the products or services. Telekom Malaysia Berhad (TM) is engaged in the establishment, maintenance, and provision of telecommunications and related services. TM Berhad operates in four segments. First is retail business, which provides a range of telecommunication services and communication solutions to small and medium businesses, as well as corporate and government customers, except for consumer business, which provides only voice and internet and multimedia services. Next is wholesale business, which provides a range of telecommunication services delivered over its network to other licensed network operators. Thirdly, global business, which provides inbound and outbound services for a range of telecommunications. And lastly, shared services or others, which include shared services division, all business function divisions, and subsidiaries that do not fall under above line of business. Next factor is nature of production process. Telekom Malaysia Berhad (TM) is the national connectivity and digital infrastructure provider and Malaysia's leading integrated telco, set to enable digital Malaysia by offering a comprehensive suite of communication services and solutions in fixed, such as telephony and broadband, mobility, content, Wi-Fi, cloud, data center, cybersecurity, IoT, and smart services. TM is driven by stakeholder value creation in a highly competitive environment and places emphasis on delivering an enhanced customer experience via continuous customer service quality improvements and innovations, whilst focusing on increased operational efficiency and productivity. For the type of class of customers, TM Berhad provides a wide range of telecommunication services and communication solutions to household, individuals, small and medium enterprise or SME companies, small and medium business, corporate and government company, domestic and international carriers. The last factor is distribution method of the products or services. TM Berhad has collaborated with 9 tower providers or tower costs. The collaboration allowed the high-speed fiber optic network connect to towers and enabling high-quality network performance and capability.
Okay, now I will explain about Telekom Malaysia type of segment. There are 2 types of segment that Telekom Malaysia Berhad has. First one is business segment. Okay, what is business segment? Business segment is a distinguishable component of an entity that is engaged in providing product and services. The core business that will run by Telekom Malaysia Berhad is telecommunication. In this segment, TM Malaysia Berhad provides communication service, which is they create the solutions in fixed telephone and broadband, mobility, content, Wi-Fi, cloud, data center, cybersecurity, and smart services. Next, the second type of segment for TM Malaysia Berhad is geographical segment. What is geographical segment? It is a distinguishable component of an entity that is engaged in providing product and services within a particular economic environment. With extensive global connectivity and network infrastructure, from now on, TM Malaysia has evolved to become the country's largest provider of broadband services. So, this is a shift operating decision making in Telekom Malaysia Berhad. The first one is Tan Sri Muhammad Azlan Hashim. He was appointed as a non-independent non-executive chairman of TM Malaysia on 1st August 2021. Next is Anis Rizana Muhammad Zainuddin. She is a non-independent non-executive director of TM Malaysia since 1 July 2020. The next one is Imri Mokhtar. He is a group chief executive officer that was appointed and a non-independent executive director on 1st August 2021. So this is another shift operating decision making for Telekom Malaysia Berhad. Ananda Vijayan, Chief Commercial Officer, M. Sivan Umapati, Chief Information Officer, Raja Azrina, Raja Osman, Chief Information Security Officer, and Muhammad Tajul Muhammad Sultan, Chief Network Officer. So, let's discuss about the responsibilities of this Chief Operating Decision Making. There are several responsibilities for Chief Operating. These are 3 main purposes for their responsibilities. The first one is they have the function to assess the performance of the various segments. The Chief Operating Office needs to determine whether the business is being properly managed and displaying ethical behavior while overseeing the day-to-day business operations. Secondly, Chief Operating needs to decide on the allocation of the resources for segment. Chief Operating Decision Making needs to have a strategic plan for company long-term values creation and include strategies on economic, environmental, and social considerations. Last but not least, Chief Operating need to be responsible to identify principal risks. So, they need to ensure the implementation of appropriate system to manage, evaluate, identify, and monitor significant financial and non-financial risks.
Process to identify the reportable segment and non-reportable segment. Reportable segment are business segments for which the information required by MFRSA are to be disclosed separately. They are segments that have been identified to meet the quantitative threshold test set by the standard, which are 10% threshold test and 75% test. To identify the qualification of reportable operating segment. For reporting purpose, a reportable segment is one that meets any one of the following quantitative thresholds, which consists of revenue basis, profit and loss basis, and total asset basis, in which it must satisfy 10% or more. Since Telekom Malaysia is using revenue basis in measuring its operating segment, therefore 10% threshold test will be evaluated based on its total reported revenue from sale to external customer and inter-segment. After determination of reportable segment, the entity should ensure that the total revenue attributable to those reportable segment is at least 75% of the entity's total revenue. For the reproduced segment report, according to the calculation shown by using 10% threshold test using revenue basis, there are 3 reportable segments identified consist of Unify, TM1 and TM Wholesale operating segment of 41%, 35% and 21% respectively. Since shared service orders do not meet the requirement of 10% threshold test, it will be disclosed as other segment categories in the segmental report. In order to have at least 4 reportable segments and 1 non-reportable segment in Telekom Malaysia, a new adjustment of reporting segment will be created as described as the following table. There is an addition of TM fiber segment in the new operating segment adjustment. After the adjustment, Telekom Malaysia will have 4 reportable segments and 1 non-reportable segment. As comparison, the segmental report by using the adjustment of new operating segment will be changed the reportable status. As per the calculation by using revenue basis, there will be 4 reportable segments as the stated percentage is exceeding 10% of combined revenue of all operating segments in Telekom Malaysia that comprise of Unified, TM1, TMUC and TM Fiber of 36%, 31%, 18% and 12% respectively. Share service or others will be reported as all other segments as it failed to meet the 10% of threshold test according to the revenue basis. However, if Telekom Malaysia believe that the information in the non-reportable segment is significant to the users of financial statement, the entity may choose to include TM Fiber as a reportable segment by applying the 75% test. Since the 75% test has been satisfied by the company of 97%, therefore, the entity may simply ignore the share service or other segment.
So, what are the benefits of having segmental reporting? First and foremost, it will create better decision making. Segment reporting will help the shift operating decision making in Telekom Malaysia Berhad to make decisions in allocating the company resources. This is because each segment shows its own profits and performance. Next, segmental reporting can analyze company performance. For instance, from the TM segmental report, it shows what operating segment that contribute more to performance of the company. Last but not least, the investor will have a clear view for the future investment. Shareholders will be aware of the situation of the company since this segmental report shows the detail and the perspective that they are being taken into consideration by making their decision. So, it will indicate their interest to make new progress for the company.
These are the disadvantages of the segment report. The first one is misleading and difficulty in understanding about segment report by the external users. Segment information is made through the eyes of the management and often make an arbitrary judgment to develop such segment data for internal management users. This nature and limitation of segment informations make the external users have difficulty in understanding, and not all the information is useful for them in making investment decisions. Next is the result of segment report presented to external users could lead to competitive damage. This is when the confidential information could be revealed to external users, such as profitable or unprofitable products, weaknesses of the product that might induce the competitors to take the advantage of the weaknesses. This kind of disclosures might harm the operating company. The last one is lack of relevance of segment results due to shorter period. The relevance of segment results become less precise, leading to an inaccurate decision making. Estimates and judgment made based on the segment report may not be accurate for decisions regarding the company due to shorter period. There are two different methods on how interim report can be prepared, which is integral method and discrete method. For Telekom Malaysia Berhad, the company used discrete method in which interim period is prepared in a separable period. The unaudited interim financial statement for the second quarter period ended 30 June 2020 of the group have been prepared in accordance with Malaysian Financial Reporting Standards (FAR570) 134, Interim Financial Reporting issued by Malaysia's Accounting Standards Board (MASB), paragraph 9.22 and Appendix 9B of the Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad Main Market Listing Requirements, and should be read in conjunction with the group's audited financial statement for the financial year ended 31st December 2019. The accounting policies, method of computation, and basis of consolidation applied in the unaudited interim financial statements are consistent with those used in the preparation of the 2019 audited financial statements, except for the changes arising from the adoption of the amendment to MFRS issued by MASB. that are effective for the group's financial year beginning on 1 January 2020.
Two accounting policies used in the preparation of interim report is MFRS 116 and MFRS 16. For MFRS 116 property, plant and equipment, the PPE are stated at cost less accumulated depreciation and impairment losses, if any, in accordance with MFRS 116 property, plant and equipment. The depreciation method used by TM Berhad is straight line basis to allocate the cost of the assets to their residual values over the estimated useful lives in years. Meanwhile, for MFRS 16 leases, the group and the company have elected to early adopt amendment to MFRS 16 COVID-19 related rent concessions for the first time in the 2020 financial statements, with the date of initial application of 1st January 2020, which resulted in changes in accounting policies. On adoption of the MFRS 16 amendment, the group and the company are not required to assess whether a rent concession that occurs as a direct consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic and meets specific conditions is a lease modification. The group and the company account for such COVID-19 related rent concessions as a variable lease payment in the period in which the event or condition that triggers the reduced payment occurs.
So, I will explain about the type of interim report. To begin with, there are two types of interim report. The first one is complete interim financial report, which is MFRS 101. It consists of 4 primary financial statements, notes, comparative information in respect of preceding years. So, the type of interim report that has been prepared by Telekom Malaysia Berhad is condensed interim financial report, which is MFRS 134. It consists of 4 primary financial statements and selected explanatory notes. What are the 4 primary financial statements that have been prepared by TM Malaysia? In this condensed interim financial report, they have included the unaudited condensed statement of profit or loss, unaudited condensed statement of comprehensive income, unaudited condensed statement of financial position, unaudited condensed statement of changes in equity, and unaudited condensed statement of cash flow in their interim financial reporting. In addition, Telekom Malaysia Berhad apply quarterly interim reporting starting from 1 January 30 to 31st March for first quarter, 1 April 30 June for second quarter, 1 July to 30 September for third quarter, and 1 October to 31st December for last quarter.
The period for the current and comparative of each statement prepared by the company. Telekom Malaysia accounting period will end on 31st December of each year. The current and comparative period of each statement prepared by the company, according to MFRS 134 interim financial reporting, will be measured from 1st April 2020 to 30 June 2020, in which it corresponds to the second quarter of Telekom Malaysia in year 2020. For the statement of financial position at the end of current interim reporting period is 3 months from 1st April 2020 to 30 June 2020, and the comparative SOPI at the immediate preceding financial year end reporting period is 12 months from 1st January 2019 to 31st December 2019. For the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income for the current interim reporting period of 3 months from 1st April 2020 to 30 June 2020. The cumulative SOPA for the current financial year to date reporting period is 6 months from 1st January 2020 to 30 June 2020. The comparative SOPA of current interim reporting period is 3 months from 1st April 2019 to 30 June 2019. Lastly, the comparative SOPA of immediate preceding financial year to date reporting period is 6 months from 1st January 2019 to 30 June 2019. As for the statement of change in equity and statement of cash flow, both will have the same reporting period and date. The cumulative SACHE and associate, the current financial year reporting period is 6 months from 1st January 2020 to 30 June 2020, while the comparative SACHE and associate for the immediate preceding financial year to date reporting period is also 6 months from 1st January 2019 to 30 June 2019.
The last part we will look into is any of the adjustment proposed that we will make on the second quarter. The first adjustment is on the inventory. The cost of inventory as at 30 June 2020 is amounted to 96.7 million. The net reservable value as at 30 June 2020 is amounted to 95.5 million. The value of the inventories will be recognized at level of cost and net reservable value. Therefore, the value of inventories should be written down to its NRV, amounted to 95.5 million in the second quarter of the statement of financial position, and loss of inventory of 1.2 million should be recognized in the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income.
The second proposed adjustment for the interim report is account receivables. TM Berhad prepares quarterly interim reports. In the second interim period of the financial year ended 31st December 2020, there was impairment in its trade and receivables. As at 30th June 2020, the trade and receivables amounted to 2793.8 million ringgit, and the company estimated that the amount would be 10% uncollectible by the year end. So the solution for this problem is gross amount of 2793.8 million will multiply by collection rate of 90%, which equal to 2514.42 million as the net amount to be reported in the interim report. 10% doubtful debt amounted to 279.38 million ringgit should be disclosed as an expense in the SOPL, while the adjusted trade receivables amount to 514.42 million ringgit will be disclosed in the SOFP. And this is the extract of statement of financial position for the year ended 30th June 2020 for inventory and trade and receivables before and after adjustment.